From the high mountains of the great Southwest Canadian Rockies, I bid you all good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be, wherever you are in this world, of which is covered by this radio program. Welcome to Dark Matter Radio. My name is Ronnie McLean, and we're going to have a very interesting program already, I can tell. We're going to dive deep into the infinite universe and all its possibilities. So hold on tight, grab a cup of coffee, some tea, whatever tobacco products you might be smoking, and settle in for a very, very interesting program. And yeah, so tonight we're going to be talking about Fukushima. Fukushima happened about 8 years ago, I believe in 2011. Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, and nobody's talking about it, and everybody is going about their daily business as though everything is just a-okay. So, you know, a lot of the things that we take care of in this programming here on Dark Matter Radio and Alive, we talk about a lot of things that people really don't talk about, spur up the conversations, and then we throw them out there and we watch the conversation in our society begin to start changing towards, you know, the conversations that we're talking about. You know, whether it be the indigenous, whether it be decolonization of the black folks, of the African Americans, of the indigenous beings. All different types of subject matter. And tonight, I really want to get into, we talked about Ebola, and a lot of these other different viruses that seem to be hitting all over the place. We got a lot more on that coming as well. It's going to be a big programming session in the next couple of weeks, and stay tuned because it's going to be really crazy. So Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant happened about 8 years ago, and the data has been collected on the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, in which 3 of its reactors suffered one of the worst meltdowns in history. Well, all 3 reactors melted down completely, as the reports go. So the Tokyo Electric Power Company, it's called Tepco, has published information on the amount of radioactive material released after the incident, based on data and simulations taken from around the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. A total of 900 quadrillion decocrels of iodine-131 and cesium-137 were linked into the environment, the Pacific Ocean specifically, between March 12th and March 31st, 2011, around the situation when it first occurred. This is around 17% of what was released after Chernobyl nuclear disaster. The level fell more than 1,000, down to 1,000 in April of 2011. While the radiation levels around the plant continue to decrease, they still remain after 7 years of the disaster. And these are the things that mainstream media is reporting. And, you know, so we're going to be showing you a few things over the next several shows about Fukushima. How it happened. What caused it. Where were the 3 power plants? How much actually really did leak into the Pacific Ocean, and how much is actually leaking into the Pacific Ocean still to this day? Where are they taking all of that coolant? How are they storing it? Is it safe? What happened to the initial people that actually went into the power plant? What happened to the people that initially was affected with the tsunami that hit the island of Japan? how are the people of Japan now dealing with Fukushima, which has gone down as the worst natural man-made disaster in human history? Almost 10 times worse. It's 10 times worse than what happened in Russia, than what happened at Chernobyl. Now, there's a story about Chernobyl that's on, I believe it's on Netflix. I believe it's on Netflix. I would recommend everybody to take a look at that miniseries. Take a look at that miniseries and see exactly what they had to face with in terms of all of the Chernobyl stuff. We didn't get into Chernobyl here, but this is about 10 times, maybe even 100 times worse than whatever happened over there in Chernobyl. Right? And these power plants over here at Fukushima are still radioactive and are still releasing contaminants into the Pacific Ocean. Now, when I say the Pacific Ocean, I'm talking about all the way up from Alaska and above, all the way down through Canada, the Pacific west of America, all the way down to South America. I'm talking about the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean. And no one's talking about the devastation. I mean, they're talking about how the starfish are dying and certain corals are dying, and they don't know why. And they don't know why. When it was first mentioned, it was also mentioned that the milk of the cows were beginning to start being radiated. That was about maybe a month after the incident. We'll get some more exact data on that as well. Right now, we're just summarizing a whole lot of stuff. This is when you know that this disaster is still going on. And if you're eating fish out of the Pacific Ocean, well, may God help you. There's a lot of things that are going on that they're just not telling you. I mean, the radiation of all the things that are happening to North America because of what's happened over there in Japan is devastating. But they're not talking about it. But we will hear tonight and over the next several days. Fukushima will be front page news in I.N.N.A, Dark Matter Radio, and on YouTube, and everywhere else we're heard all around the world.